Thanks for coming. The buffet closes in 15 minutes, and we're out of shrimp. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So this week, our very own Bret Baier got pulled over by a cop in D.C. Well, he always did want to be a rapper. President Trump joked that ending the war in Ukraine could help boost his odds of getting into heaven. He added that he's already drawn up plans to help St. Peter renovate the pearly gates. The Democratic Party's finances are in trouble after spending $15 million to pay off Kamala's campaign. But at least they'll get half of that back in bottle returns. RFK Jr. squared off against Pete Hegseth in a pull-up and push-up contest. Unfortunately, they both had their asses kicked by this dude.
Hate to see that.
Star Wars actor Mark Hamill revealed he wanted to flee the U.S. after Trump was elected a second time. Unfortunately, though, he couldn't get anyone to cover his shift at Arby's. As part of the Trump administration's ongoing crime crackdown, 52 people were arrested in D.C. in a single night. And 51 were migrants in the same car.
Wow.
In an interview, former MSNBC host Joy Reid said white men haven't invented anything. Kudos to her. Kudos to her for her first admission to date that Africans invented slavery. I don't even know.
Can't have it both ways.
Can't have it both ways. A Danish woman donated her daughter's pony to the local zoo to be fed to lions.
Oh, dear.
Authorities intervened when they realized it wasn't a pony at all, but a confused and very lost Sarah Jessica Parker. So glad they caught her in time. The zoo animals were so relieved.
Rough meat.
And finally, Playboy is moving its headquarters to Miami Beach and opening a new club. Yeah, it's like... It's like Christmas in August, said one man. Hey.
And that guy.
Bill Clinton up there. So according to the New York Times, Trump's words may have the greatest influence on English of any president ever. But to them, of course, this could be harmful. To which I say, so can reading your garbage paper. The piece was titled The Insidious Creep of Trump's Speaking Style. Insidious Creep, which also was the code name the Chinese used for Eric Swalwell. The writer says, quote, Mr. Trump's ideas begin as ridiculous and are easily parodied on the internet. They're already affecting our headspace. The fact that we're talking like Trump could mean that we're starting to think like him as well. Typical liberal. But he should have ended that quote with, thank you for your attention to this matter. It would have worked. Prove your points. True, Trump is no Kamala Harris when it comes to the English language. He prefers to use it, not dismember it and bury it in the backyard. And is it better to talk like Joe Biden, who hasn't shown brain activity since they slipped Adderall into his pudding? Who could forget his classics like, not a joke? Or, anyway, here's the deal. And the phrase he used most, ow. But Trump, he's different. I wonder, does he want to get to heaven if possible?
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons.
Last month, I signed one big, beautiful bill, and he takes the fat shot drug. I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. They want transgender for everybody transgender. That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
Everything's computer. popular. We get that. It's not surprising his vocab is popular because he is. Using his own words, Trump's policies are beautiful. The Dems are a total disaster, and Rosie O'Donnell is huge. He's easily understood and uses words a high school dropout understands. It's why cab drivers and Jesse Waters love him. But it makes me wonder, has the New York Times ever done a piece on how the left twists language into an appealing cover for their dreadful ideas? I mean, what's worse, blunt honesty or this dishonest muck?
We talked about racial and economic justice, racial and social justice. We started to really extend those issues to the issues of economic justice, environmental justice, and the intersectionality and interconnectedness of all our fights.
Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities. I've often said that gender-affirming care is health care. It is mental health care.
She will be the first Black woman, the first out LGBTQ+ person to serve in this role.
The cabinet is majority people of color for the first time in history. The cabinet is majority female for the first time in history. The majority of White House senior staff identify as female. 40% of White House senior staff identify as part of racially diverse communities. A record 6 assistants to the president are openly LGBTQ.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Not anymore, Kamala. Now you're a woman laying down in a corner booth at Chili's. And your pronouns are and faced. It's the shared code of overeducated brains using jargon to hide nefarious intent. There are people who start their sentences with "so" and finish with a smug smile and folded arms, just like they invented fire at that moment. But Trump's the opposite. He's direct, honest, and fun. 3 things the Democratic Party isn't and can't be. Trump's one of the greatest cultural figures in American history. We quote Reagan and Lincoln to this day, but we quote movies too, like Animal House, Die Hard, The Terminator. True, Joy Behar says, "I'll be back" every time she leaves Golden Corral. And how many times in the last 4 years have we quoted the brat in The Sixth Sense saying, "I see dead people"? Trump can't help that he resonates. The media hates hearing about fake news, but that wasn't a thing before Trump. He coined it, calling attention to the legacy media's shameful bias and agenda. And now the media is pretty much dead. His words start movements. Meanwhile, the only movement Biden starts are of the bowel variety. Drain the swamp, make America great again. We're all verbal tools in the fight against corruption. Meanwhile, Obama said, "Let me be clear." But the only thing clear about him was his fear of being slapped around by Michelle. The most famous thing Bill Clinton said was, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." Well, that and nice jet, Jeffrey. Others try to mimic Trump's style, but they don't have the honesty behind it. Gavin Newsom hired a team of dorks to copy Trump's way of tweeting, and they came off as insincere as his wedding vows. Trump is... It could have been worse. Trust me.
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
I pulled back
Took
for
the high
legal
road.
reasons.
Good for you.
Trump is consequential. He's reshaped trade relations, closed the border, is ending wars. That's why his phrases stick and why the other guys get less attention than Rashida Tlaib on Valentine's Day. His success is the only reason you end up with articles like these. They can't stand that he's president and that his words matter. They can inspire, make us laugh, or like me, get you a lifetime ban from Wheel of Fortune. I mean, how was I supposed to know it was "I love big decks"? Honest mistake. Let's welcome tonight's guest. The biggest laugh he ever got was asking for a prenup. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lissow. She proved the pen is mightier than the sword with her horrible sword fighting. Editor-in-chief of the Federalist, Molly Hemingway. In high school, she was voted most likely to slip through a storm drain. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor, Cat Too. And he's the only man on earth strong enough to carry all of Kill Me's hate mail. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion. What do you make of it? Jamie, I get the feeling that they're running out of things to criticize Trump for. It's kind of like me with you.
Yeah.
You know, I've just beaten everything to death, and I'm kind of getting bored with your horrible life. They're like, they can't, now they're going after his, the fact that people are imitating him.
You're right. It's weird you said you were out of insults, and then you did a bunch of them.
That's true.
I think
maybe I'm not done.
Yeah, for real. And I think it boils down to Trump being a real, accessible person. Like, look at all his awesome, I love all the slow, like, make America great again, right? We understand what it means. It's very simple. It makes sense. It's what we all want. Drain the swamp, which, by the way, when I was with my ex-wife, she only let me drain the swamp like once a year on my birthday.
You love irrigation.
I do. But just like, I don't know, just like everything, though, even like how you just showed the clip where he's like the fat shot. Yeah. We all know what he's talking about.
Yes.
If you say Ozempic, I'll bet Trump doesn't go to the urologist, he goes to the dick guy.
Telling you, cops and the mob love him for that reason. It's incredible. So, Molly, they're basically saying that they worry people are turning into him. That is a very liberal way of thinking, that somehow we're like malleable and that like, oh, we will just fall in line like they do when they hear words.
Well, it's also just like amazing that it's the year 2025 and they have just gotten around to realizing that Trump has a unique speaking style that people ape. Like nothing gets past the New York Times, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I think people have learned to really appreciate, I mean, to be totally honest, some people hate his speaking style, some people love it, but it's always fun to imitate, and it does not mean that doesn't mean that you're accepting everything about what he's saying.
And it's nowhere near as bad as dishonesty.
Right.
When you listen to the way the left uses language, which is academic inspired, it all comes from academia, these schools of revolutionary thought, they have kids talking like robots.
Oh yeah, and like, they loved the way President Obama spoke, and President Obama the way he spoke was sort of designed to deceive, and Trump, so straightforward. You know exactly what he's thinking. He's easily the best communicator since Reagan that we've had in presidential
That's why I think
office.
if they ever do a remake of 48 Hours, it has to be with Trump and Obama. You know? Because you reverse it like the black guy's uptight, and the white guy's, well, that's more like Lethal Weapon.
Right.
Yeah. I'll get on that tomorrow. Have to buy a lot of Molly, though. Hey, Kat. I don't know what I meant by that. I meant, not that. I meant the drug. It's kind of funny that the way he talks is a big deal. I mean, we know people who talk like this. Why is it a big deal?
It's not really. It's not really a big deal. And this whole piece that's, oh, people talk like Trump, could it mean we're starting to think like him? That's how the piece ended, and I kept scrolling down to see the rest of it.
Yes.
When are you going to explain why you think that? Because you can find that that's not true just by going outside and talking to a person.
Right.
The most progressive friend that I have, very progressive, like Mamdani progressive, I routinely send him clips of Trump's being funny. The everything's computer one I've sent him. The transgender for everybody transgender. I sent that to him last week, and he replies, ha, 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 I hate that he's so funny.
Yeah.
But he acknowledges that he's funny. People talk like him because it's funny. I've been quoting Happy Gilmore for 25 years. That doesn't mean I start thinking about throwing golf clubs at people.
Yeah.
It's funny. You can't eat, and it says nothing about his policies. My friend hates his policies, but he can't deny that he's hilarious.
Yeah, you know, Tyrus, Gavin Newsom thinks that nobody understands that he's imitating Trump. Like when he's doing this, it's like, we get that you're trying to imitate Trump or that your writers are doing it. It's still lame because when you're absurd, you can't mock absurdity.
Well, Gavin Newsom is, I mean, he just all around sucks.
Yeah.
He's just, I mean, you got to be good at something.
Yeah. You got to be good at something.
You got to,
What is, there's
clearly
not one
the governor thing ain't his thing.
Yeah.
Telling the truth is tough. So maybe he was going to be a good comedian, because that's what happens to a lot of people. Acting doesn't work out, then they go into politics, and he's like, hey, I'll be a comedian. Turns out, sucks at that too. So I don't know. Maybe try carpentry. I don't know. But what it is if you can't stop the message, you have to attack the sound, right? Because that's what they're doing. President Trump, I believe he was rated out as he had as a 6th grade speaking level. And I guess that was supposed to be a sick burn.
Yeah.
But when I have a couple of 6th graders, and I think they speak a lot better than they did in the 5th grade. But what you understand is that a 6th grader, or that level of speaking, that means a line cook understands what you're saying, and a scientist understands what you're saying. So what their problem is not that what he says is that anyone from any walk of life understands his message.
And that's scary.
And that sucks for them, because they can't do that. Perfect example. AOC didn't really know what she was saying.
Yeah.
That's why she kept repeating it.
Yeah.
Because if you knew what economic racism really meant, you could probably say something else besides economic racism is racism economically, which is affecting us all economically, which then henceforth is why we're all dealing with this racial economical frustration that is America.
For a minute there, I thought we had Eric Michael Dyson on the show. Or what is his name? Eric Michael Dyson.
He made a whole career of saying verbs.
And
nothing else.
Yes.
And that's what they do.
What's his name?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson or whatever. He would just say.
And then just throw white people, racism, and then they would put him on TV.
They go, you are so smart.
Yeah, because they're afraid of him.
Yeah.
Because they don't really know what he said.
Yeah, and you're not going to
With Trump, you know what he says. You'll never have anyone say, I just spoke to the president, and I have no idea what he said.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.